thank you so much for joining me today. I'm super excited. Here we are, EVOTEK and Wiz, talking about one of our most passionate topics, cloud security. And I am Matt Shufeldt. I'm the VP of Services at EVOTEK. In addition to that, I am also one of our longest tenured executive advisors, where we go and we help our clients at the C-level, senior VP level, understand their programs and obligations, and just kind of help them kind of get their strategy in place. Yinon, would you mind giving us an introduction, please?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm Yinon Costica, running product management for Wiz, and also one of the co-founders. Company existed for 3.5 years. We are helping cloud organizations to secure their cloud environments. And thank you for having me today.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us. And let's start off with a really basic but basic question to ask, complicated potentially to answer. Why do you think cloud introduces such new challenges, especially public cloud, for organizations as they look to secure their business and make sure that they're not actually disabling any kind of innovation that they need?
Yeah, cloud offers businesses a new way to deliver applications, software. It's super agile. It has many options across different clouds, different architectures, thousands of technologies that you can now adopt very easily. I think that cloud basically changes the way security is operating, by the sense that they have to embrace the technology. They have to work alongside the engineering teams, the business, to see how they can move at their pace and enable them to do this. So in many senses, cloud turned cloud security teams into business enablers rather than blockers. And I think this drives a significant change in how the organization as a whole sees the security team today. And that's probably the most significant thing. I think that the other element of cloud that changes is actually the transition from I would say threat detection to security posture management. And I think that cloud, with the unique visibility and the speed that it allows to gain this visibility, offers us a real opportunity to get things right out of the door. Like as soon as we ship them, having them secure by design, versus the typical let's ship it and then secure it afterwards, so bolt-on security. And that's the other really big benefit of cloud.
You know, I really appreciate you bringing up the posture management piece. And I think it's an area and a term, frankly, that is misunderstood by both IT and cybersecurity practitioners. That actually makes me think of, what do you think is common across different types of organizations? So we have, different kind of regulatory views, we have different sizes, we have different motivations. Like, there has to be some consistencies from a cloud security design and from an overall posture management that you see across all. What do you think those are?
Yeah, I think there are three repeated challenges that we see any organization that starts using the cloud, regardless of size, vertical, and so on, faces. The first one is really how to embrace the agile nature of cloud and the ability of the business to now adopt technologies faster than ever before. And security has to embrace it. Security has to enable it if they want to enable the business to do more. So that's the first challenge, and it happens very quick in the cloud. Cloud is meant to consume the latest and greatest. That's the whole promise of cloud. The second thing is really around the risk. And there are many new risks in the cloud, and different architectures, different clouds. You have identity, you have exposures, vulnerabilities, configurations. But I think the common challenge for everyone is how to prioritize the work. We talked about prioritization. Prioritization is key, and the only way to actually prioritize is use vast context when understanding the risk. And I think this is the second most significant challenge they face. And the third one is really about what we call democratizing security, or in other words, we need to adopt a cloud operating model in which security becomes not a bottleneck to do security, but actually an orchestrator that ingrains security into the development processes of the businesses themselves. And I think that this democratization process is key in order to really scale out your cloud security program. And that's a challenge that's a tipping point between having a bottleneck security program to having a scaled out security program for a cloud environment. So the three, again, just ability to adopt technologies fast. Second, the challenge in prioritizing the risks across them. And third, democratizing them or ingraining them back to the development teams.
No, I love all three of those. The third one is quite interesting to me because, we've been dealing for decades with disparate technologies, maybe best of breed here, maybe best ecosystem there, and all of these different skill sets and capabilities within organizations. So you bringing up that actually having a real cohesive view and a target operating model to go after is essential to success. So thank you for saying that. What's funny, something else you and I talked about the first time we met is that there's these large divides, there's these silos oftentimes within organizations. It could be security and infrastructure, it could be security and product teams, it could be any number of groups. And at the individual contributor level and the people actually driving all of this work, I think one of the things that's really overlooked is the people value that something like this can bring. Because if we look all the way back to the promises of DevOps, we want everyone being contributed towards actually delivering that value and being able to be really represented. What are you seeing the most in your different customers and just in the industry alone on how that kind of is helping harmonize those teams?
You hit the nail on the head. Basically, this is the most important value that personally, I think when I see customers implementing Wiz as their CNAPP, this is the most important value they get in the end. Because while you implement the CNAPP, what actually happens is that you break the silos between all of these teams. And it's a really interesting process to see because you have the engineering teams operating in silo from the security team. And now they actually have a shared view of the risks and why they need to operate together to remediate it and why it's important. But also within security, you have the container security team operating completely separately from the cloud platform team and completely separate from the vulnerability management team and the data security team. And they start basically consolidating into that shared view as well, let alone the threat detection team. So the SOC teams, the responders, and they also use the same view for context, for understanding the applications, who owns them, what's the root cause of that, the breach. And basically, this shared view across all of these teams is probably the most important, in the end, higher level value that organizations gain for it from a CNAPP.
So Yinon, thank you so much for the time today, and thank you for the partnership. I see us being able to make a massive difference for our shared customers, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Every time I get to talk to you, I really do appreciate it.
Same here, Matt, and thank you again so much for hosting me, and thank you for the incredible partnership.
Thank you, sir.